Good evening, everyone. It's Kevin O'Rourke here, the Wine Man, with the white wine selection for May. And I thought I'd run through some of these wines with you because I'm a little bit late in telling you about it. So without further ado, let's start. What do we have here? The Jim Barry Lodge Hill Riesling. And it's not very often I choose a Riesling, but in the spring and the summer and the lovely pouring wet weather we're having, this is a wine that will cheer you up immensely. So as you might be able to see on the back index, it's bone dry. There's a reason that Jim Barry wants to make bone dry Riesling, because he loves the aromatics to come out with this particular style of wine. So think of lots of zingy, citrusy fruit flavors, a little hint of something very almost petrolic, but not petrolic. It's a really great varietal. They're absolutely superb, the Riesling grape, and this particular one is from the Clare Valley. It's very high up as well, as you might see on the label, 480 meters. It also benefits from cool nights, which allows the actual grapes to grow in perfect harmony. Next up, from Australia, Mr. Bob Burton, we have his Winemaker's Reserve Fiano. This is one of my all-time favourites, just spring and summer drinking wines. It's absolutely delicious. Fiano's a little bit of a forgotten varietal, but it's very much a in varietal in Italy. But to grow it in Australia, that really takes a bit of technique. Bob is really good at doing these sort of things. So this one's slightly different. It's very citrusy again, but it's got jasmine notes and it's got a peachy sort of zing to it, and it's very unusual, but incredibly likable. And it's a lighter particular style of the citrus attack. Next thing we have Godello, the Fincos os Cobatos. This particular one, again, we're looking at a citrusy style of wine. It's going to be really good with fish dishes, also with shellfish. And because it's from Galicia, it is the perfect seafood wine. I think this is absolutely delicious. Next one, Sibires. This is the Gran Reserva from Underaga, Sauvignon Blanc. Now, Chilean Sauvignon Blanc, in this particular one, this is Gran Reserva. And the reason they call it Gran Reserva, or they can call it Gran Reserva, is because it's over a certain alcohol level. This one is at 13.5%. And that's pretty much all it is with Chile with regard to their Reserva and Gran Reserva. It's all to do with a slightly better grade of grapes and also the high alcohol level. So this one, lots of zing, lots of zip. It's going to be really lemony. It's also going to have grapefruit characteristics, typical that you would get with a Sauvignon Blanc. But as opposed to a Kiwi Sauvignon Blanc, one from New Zealand, it's a very different style. It's very clean, it's very fresh, it's absolutely delicious. Next one, the Source of Joy, Côte de Gascogne. This particular wine, L'Éclat, very interesting. Blend of 4 different grape varietals right down in the south of France. So you've got Ugni Blanc, you've got Colombard, you've got Sauvignon Blanc, and you've got Gros Mansang. An interesting varietal. Not many people have heard of it. It gets used an awful lot in blending, and it's especially good for this area. Now, again, it's very much a shellfish style of wine. It's got lots of zing to it, lots of zip. It's a really interesting wine because it floods your mouth with saliva because it's beautifully acidic, but it's not so acidic that you go, oh, that's really not nice. Finally, the reason for the delay, we have the Simpsons Gravel Castle Chardonnay, the 2019 vintage. And it's English. An English Chardonnay. Who would have thought? And it's good. Now, it is very much, all of these wines are very much aimed at spring and summer drinking. So they are slightly, lost my clicker, a little bit lighter in style. They are the sort of thing that you don't want too much weight to them, because it's great if you can get outside. Obviously today and all weekend it's just horrible weather, but these wines will lift your spirits. They will make you feel a little bit better about things, and if the weather does turn and gets a little bit better, you know you've got some great ones there just to enjoy either on their own, because they're all really good on their own, or you can have them with food. But that's the white wine selection for May 2021. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Cheers.